I think we probably have time for one more question, and then I would love for everyone to give final thoughts. Any other questions from the audience? Yes.
I'll go last. Command Sergeant Major Hate Maneuver Center, Excellent Sergeant Major. Also a Child Development Center of Spouses, I call myself. So 7 installations, 10 years of being a spouse of a CDC worker. And what I really wanted to talk about is we've done a great job with incentivizing pay and that stuff to get people into our CDCs. But we're missing the mark in some cases across these installations I've been, is retaining them. Long-term retention of the workers who work in the facilities. And it kind of ties into Kurt Tickner's point over there about the budgeting. It's extremely stressful situation. It is the best quality that you could probably have in any child development center in the world. But the pressure that's put on people to release people as soon as kids leave throughout the day gives no breaks for lull times or incentives. So a lot of the spouses who are newer in facilities really don't stay very long because of the amount of pressure put on them. So it ties directly into spouse employment, but I think we got to figure out how do we incentivize and reduce stress. And it's not just like Fort Benning's, it's numerous across the installation. So that's, I guess, a question of incentives or reduce stress for the workforce.
No, that's a great question, and I think you're right. We've done a great job over the last 3 years on the front end, recruiting, getting paid where it needs to go. The other piece of this, and it's tied to our workforce modernization effort that was codified in the FY25 NDAA, was a couple pieces of this. Is one, we need to create a better career path for providers that want to come in and maybe grow in that, and maybe be a center director, or maybe someday sit up on this stage as well. And so we've built this modernization, and we're finalizing the details of the services for release here in the next few months. But there's a couple of key components, I think, that get after that stress piece of it. One is creating a lead education position in all of the classrooms, so that there's a leader and then you have multiple assistants kind of working there, and it's trying to get after that stress component. Because we're seeing that burnout actually is really the bigger challenge right now in the centers. And that's not to say this career of being a child center professional is not for everyone. You will get a lot of people that will say, yep, that's not for me. And Amy and I were joking about it the other day. It's not for everybody. And so it takes a special person to want to be in a classroom with 12 toddlers on a given day. And so we're working on creating that lead position. The other element that's part of the workforce, I think, gets after that retention is special needs and behavioral. We have seen significant increases in special needs and behavioral issues in our centers, and it's kind of twofold. One, making sure that our staffs have the training and they're equipped to deal with it, but bringing in the right professionals that are steeped in that. And so part of our workforce modernization was to create a special needs inclusion coordinator for one for every 200 kids as a starting point to get that out. And that'll start we're doing a pilot right now. It's in a few locations, and that'll grow starting, our fingers are crossed in FY26, because it is in the PB, that will allow us to bring on special needs inclusion coordinators across the department to help those care providers in each of the classrooms. One, brings deep experience, but also to be able to give that respite as they have a child that is beyond their capabilities. The person can come in, take the child, give them the one-on-one, and let that care provider work with the other kids in the classroom. So that's some of the initial things that we're getting after, but retention is huge. We gave the flexibility to the services on retention bonuses, allowed them to do that and move out in those directions. So as we move down workforce modernization, I think it's going to help get after that retention element.
Mike, thank you for that.